Today we're exploring the components of Darkest Doom in detail. The box contains lots of cards, double-layered boards, and miniatures, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's take a look at the box. It's a big one, as you can see, and a heavy one at that. So let's open the lid. There we go. And first off, we have the rulebook. Honestly, we weren't very satisfied with the rulebook. We feel that it could have been much better structured to help the game shine, because in essence, the game is not that complicated, but the rulebook doesn't do it a favor. And yeah, so we have the table of contents here. Then we have some lore about all the characters that you'll find within the game. A little bit of comic to start the story. Components, setup, player setup, and then we have the gameplay rules for the multiplayer game. It's a lot of pages here. And at the end, we also have the rules for the solo game and the bot guardians. Some tips and strategy for those who like that, and the game icons at the back of the rulebook. Next up, we have the board, and it's a large one, so give me a moment to open it up and show you everything. Okay, as you can see here, I can barely fit it in the screen. There is some more down here, but it's fine. First off, we have the map with all the areas that the characters can move into. All the 4 guardians of the players start on the 4 corners. They are colored based on the 4 player colors, and you move around the map. You do location actions and quests. You fight other guardians and monsters. You earn daily fame on that track here that helps with the player order, and if the game reaches the end, it might give you the win as well. Here we track the alliances with the various citadels that give benefits throughout the game, the player order, and on the left side here we have the round tracker. There are some tokens on it that track the day and night phases of each round, and over there we have the Darkest Doom track, which has some effects that happen if you roll the moon icon on the dice while fighting or while doing checks. Back to the box, we have a little board that is only used in the solo game, and we don't play solo, so we don't know exactly how it works. And then we have the player boards. There are 4 of them, and they are exactly the same, so I will only show you one here. It's double layered, as you can see. This is where you put your character card, and it has the illustration. It will have the illustration of the character, as you'll see in a while, and the special ability. This is where you track the character stats that can be increased throughout the game, and you gain bonuses if you do quests and stuff. This is where you track your actions for your current turn, and this is health and mana pools. Then here we have 4 baggies with the player pieces. I will only show you the orange ones. All of them again are the same, so it doesn't really matter which ones you see. We have various components. As you can see here, these are the cubes that track your stats, your mana and health, tokens that you can put as traps on the board, quest markers, everything that you need throughout the game. The relic tokens are very useful items that you can gather throughout the game. Some of them are used for the various win conditions of the game, others are used to cast spells, and you gain them through completing quests. Coins are not what you would think they are. They don't work as currency as we usually see coins work. They are actually used to manipulate your die, your fate die. So you can spend a coin and give a +1 or a -1 to your die if you feel that this will help you succeed on your check. The dark pool tokens, those are placed by the game on various areas of the map. And if you enter an area with one of those, you need to pass a check. If you pass the check, you get something beneficial. If you don't, something bad happens. Then we have the dice. There are 2 types of dice, basically. All of these are the same thing. They have the same sides. They are just in 2 colors because sometimes 2 players can roll dice at the same time if there is a combat, so you can tell them apart, but they are functionally the same dice. And the next one is the fate die. It's a 10-sided die, and it is required in some quests and checks. You roll it and you mostly have to roll above or below a 5 to either succeed or fail the check. This is the one that you can manipulate with coins. Then we have the little baggie here that has the target tokens for the monsters. So you pull one of these randomly from the bag, and you can see where each monster is going to attack next. In a similar fashion, these tokens are the one that I mentioned earlier, track the day and night phases on the round track, but once you pull them off the track because the game progresses, you put them in the bag and they turn into monster activation tokens. Also, if you draw one of those, the monster evolves to the next category, so they get stronger as the game progresses. These are the 4 Acolyte minis. They come in the 4-player colors and they kind of correspond to those, but they do remain active in every game, even if there aren't 4 players, so we kept them separate from the player pieces because of that. Then we have the Moth miniatures. These are little nasty things that you get on your board if you die or if something really bad happens to you, and they reduce your daily fame, they occupy the space so that you can't get acolytes, which are beneficial, so you want to get rid of those as fast as possible if you can. And finally, in this little category here, we have the Dark Filament miniatures. One of those is used to track the rounds during the game, but the other ones are placed around the various buildings on the map, and each building can have up to 3 of those, and if every building on the map has 3 of those, the game immediately ends and the darkness wins. This can mean that all players lose at the same time, or the player who has aligned with the darkness wins. Okay, so the next step as we dig through the box is a bunch of cards, as you can see here. First of all, we have the player aids. These are for the various location actions, and these are the normal player aids for the phases of the game and keeping track of things. Then we have the Lake Spectre card. It's a unique card. It's just one of these throughout the game. It's a summon that a player can have, and it's a very powerful ally if you want to go into an important fight. The Bot Guardians deck is only used in the solo game with the Bot Guardians. These are the cards that activate the Guardians, essentially, but as I said earlier, we don't play solo, so I can't say a lot more details about them. Next up, we have 2 decks that work alongside each other. We have the Darkest Doom events and the Darkest Doom event maps. During the night phase of each round, you draw 2 of them, and the event card tells you what happens, but the map tells you where it happens. So they work as one card, but they basically create infinite combinations because you just randomly draw from each deck and create a combination that will get activated during that phase. The Dark Contamination cards are cards that you get if you fail on a check or something bad happens to you, and they take up space in your hands, so you have a hand limit, and if you have Dark Contamination cards, it means that you can fit less useful cards in your hands. Most of them don't really have an effect, but some of them allow you to align with the darkness, as I said earlier, so if you are the leader of the hand and the darkness wins, you win. They also have some symbols up here on the top because they have a double function. Whenever you are required to pass a check with a Crimson Fate dice, you reveal 1 card from the deck, and you need to match those symbols by rolling the dice. So that's one of their functions, and the other one is to occupy space in your hand and make you annoyed that you can't draw more cards and do more things. Then we have the Order achievements. There's a bunch of them. These are cards that the players draw and have face up in front of them and give them specific little, I can't say quests because there are different cards that give you quests, but you have a goal, and if you fulfill the goal on the top, you get the reward in the bottom. There's a number of different kinds of those, and you have them active and give you an extra something to pursue while playing. And these are the quests. These don't give you something specific to do, they give you a specific area that you need to visit, and if you manage to get to that area, you fulfill the quest. It gives you various benefits, including the relics that I mentioned earlier, and you get one of those at the beginning of each round. And finally, we have the 4 decks of Citadel Supplies cards. Let me split those in 4 because they look similar, but they are different. These are the encounters. All of them go in the hands of the players. All of them give abilities and actions that the players can do, and the 4 decks work in different ways. So encounters are pretty special. They give you unique stuff that you can do. They usually cost an action to do, and you can do them in your turn and gain benefits. Equipment cards can be equipped to your character. They are like weapons, shields, armor, stuff like that you can wear and use to gain benefits, mostly in combat, I would say. All the cards have a symbol on the top left corner because you can, instead of doing whatever they say as an ability, you can use them during a Crimson Fate die roll and change the symbol of a die to the symbol of the card on the top left. So they have a dual purpose. Equipment cards usually cost coins to equip and various other things, but their main function is that. Then we have spells. These are instant effects that you can do either in combat or out of combat, depending on the specific spell. They cost mana to use, usually, or relics, as you can see here. Some of them may give you a contamination card in your hand in order to be cast, but yeah, they have various effects and they are used instantly as soon as you do the spell. And finally, we have the traps. I showed you the tokens earlier that you can place on the map, and depending on the trap, if a creature or a guardian, another player, enters that area, they resolve the effect on the trap card that you reveal. Okay, so we've gone through the bulk of things in the game, but this is the part with the interesting stuff now. These are the 4 characters that exist in the game. They have their stats here on the right. All of them have a special ability at the bottom, and they work in different ways. 4 characters for 4 players. The 2 final decks of cards here are for the creature attacks. This one. One of those gets revealed every time a player attacks a creature of any type, and depending on the type, you get the attack and the health of the creature, so you know how much damage you need to do and how much damage you're going to take. And this is the reward you get. That's daily fame if you defeat the creature. And finally, wanted by the order cards are used in solo. This is the active player marker here and some tokens that you use on equipment cards because they have limited charges. So as soon as you equip a card, you put a couple of them or 3, as many as the card itself says, and every time you use the card, you just remove one of those. If all of them get removed, you toss away the equipment card. And these are all the bases for the various miniatures in all the player colors, so that you have one for each size of miniature. I'll show you why you have different sizes of bases in a moment. And that's the moment we've all been waiting for, I suppose, because we got to the miniatures part. The first one is the mountain that I mentioned earlier. This is placed in the middle of the map. Up here, you place the priestess miniature, which I'll show you next, because it is kind of the final boss. It's one of the 4 victory conditions to go up here and defeat the priestess. This is where the creature attack cards are placed, and this is another area that you can go and fulfill a quest, which counts as a different victory condition for the game. So there you have it. As promised, the priestess comes next. Beautiful miniatures of kind of whimsical creatures. These are the lowest tier creatures that you can bring out on the map, and they are enemies that players can fight. There is 3 of them. I will show you right away. There we have 3 of them. And if they evolve to the next tier, they become this, which is terrifying. And there's just 2 of these. So only if there is an available miniature can the monster evolve, and there can only be 3 total monsters on the map at any given time. The final level is this one. That's the leader of the hunt here. And it looks like that because if, as I said earlier, a player aligns with the darkness, you take the player's miniature and place it in here, and then you place your colored base at the bottom just to mark which player is inside the leader of the hunt and has become the leader of the hunt, essentially. So that's why we have different sizes of miniatures for the players as well. Similarly, if someone summons the Lake Spectre, you put your miniature in here, and the Lake Spectre gives you extra stats, extra attack, and extra health, so that you can be more powerful in combat. Again, you place your own player color base here to mark that it's you that's inside the Spectre. These are the 4 temple miniatures. I'll show you here. These are placed at the starting areas of each character, and that's where you respawn if you get defeated within the game. The dark filaments are placed around them, and if your temple has 3 dark filaments, instead of replenishing all your health as soon as you spawn back into your base, you only get 1 hit point, which sucks. And these are the citadels. Having alliance with a citadel gives you powerful bonuses both throughout the game and at the end of the game, if the game reaches the end of the 8th round, because that's where points count and the player with the most points, fame points, wins. And yeah, having alliance with citadels can give you the win at the end of the 8th round. And finally, we have the 4 character miniatures. There we have it. I'll show you the character art on the side as well. That's one of them. 2 of them. Oops, sorry. 3 of them. They are very beautiful, high quality miniatures. And finally, this one. That's all. I hope this video helped you get a good look at the components of Darkest Doom. If you are interested to know more, check the links below and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for more videos like this. I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye.